It's the Sunday Chronicle on Stacks 92. It's the Sunday Chronicle. We gon' give the news and keep you up to date. From crimes to the politics, you gon' know what's up around your way. We give 2 thumbs up to everyone out here doing their thing. We gon' show mad love to all the ones working hard in communities. It's the Sunday Chronicle.
Good morning and welcome to the Sunday Chronicle. I'm your host, Yanice Jackson, coming to you from Stacks 92.1 FM. This is the platform for community because community knows what community needs. I'd like to thank all my listeners for being here once again bright and early on a Sunday morning. And I want to thank those who are streaming me on any streamable platform out there. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for hanging in there with us and joining us in this very special season. This is season 4, y'all. That means that we've been here since 2020 and we haven't gone anywhere. I mean, you know, we've gone a couple places, but I'm just saying we're still on the air.
There's a whole lot of podcasts ain't on the air since 2020. So
that's saying something.
Good.
Yeah,
yes.
I'm really excited about that. And I'd also like to thank my co-host to my right, that Span. What did I put a D on it? I don't know what's going on with that. Like I don't know what.
Whenever you introduce me, for some reason you go into either you call me my full name or you put something Spanamish. Like, where did that come from?
I don't know. It's just something that's just happening, and I'm not like thinking about it. It's just happening. So like, forgive me for mispronouncing the name and putting the D on it or whatever I'm doing.
I'll survive. It'll be a close call, but I will survive.
Yeah, that was weird. I know. I'm sorry. And so thank you. So we appreciate you. And I'm going to read your shirt. When you are accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. Amen to that. Amen to that.
Yeah, somebody gave me this shirt. I was like, ooh, I'm about to piss off some people with this one. But every now and then I wear it.
Yeah, I need to get one of those. I'd like to get a sign and put that outside of my house too, but I probably wouldn't get the best reaction. So
they probably steal it. That's why I'm putting that out front of my house, because I'm afraid somebody gonna wreck it or steal it.
Yeah.
Like, do I really want to donate my money to somebody else's good time at my expense?
Right.
No.
Yeah, and Halloween's coming up too, so yeah, I wouldn't put a sign out there. I don't know. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
And so that leads me to, I'm going to make a segue here to my guest, my very special guest. Her name is Miss Donnielle Williams, and she is with One Love Global. That's how I met her. Actually, I met her through Facebook, but I believe we were Facebook friends, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, and so we're kind of connected through One Love Global, which is, a very, very active organization within the greater Lansing area and beyond. She's the operations manager there, but that's not why she is here. I just wanted to give a little background to my guest. Thank you for being here. And Donnie, I'm going to call you Donnie. You said it was okay. Tell me why you're here today, Donnie.
Thank you, Yanice. I am here to discuss my son's case. His name is Matthew Ethington II.
Okay.
He's a Detroit police officer found deceased Sunday, February 19 of 2023.
2023.
Along with the mother of his child, Maria Martin, who was also a Detroit police officer.
Okay. So this happened a bit over a year ago. It's going to be 2 years in February. And so why do you feel like this is, something that you want to put on radio and kind of get out there?
I just want to bring awareness to the case itself, because there has been no investigation done into the deaths, and Livonia police closed the case and are saying that it was a murder-suicide with my son as the perpetrator, but they didn't do any investigation.
So no formal investigation to the 2 murders, right?
Oh, 2 people who happen to be police officers.
And they were found inside of their home, right?
That's correct.
And then their child was still alive, correct?
Yes. My grandson, Matthew Ethington III. He'll be 3 in December, but he was 1 at the time.
So he has been around and he's had to, potentially witnessed all of these horrible things that happened to his parents?
I'm not sure.
Nobody knows because there's no investigation
that's correct.
Taken place.
Wait, they're Detroit police officers?
That's correct.
And they died in their Livonia home?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you asked that. You said so they are Detroit police officers. I was thinking they were Livonia. So this is the city of Detroit that did not do an investigation.
No. They're in Livonia, so...
Oh, they live in Livonia.
Yeah. So it would have to be Livonia's jurisdiction, right?
That's correct.
And Livonia, who, without saying too much, I'm just going to say for those who are listening, I'm assuming your son is a person of color.
That's correct.
And his wife was a person of color.
The mother of his child was a person of color.
The mother of his child was a person of color. And they were both Detroit police officers living in Livonia. And it was the Livonia police who did not pursue who would have killed 2 Detroit police officers in their home in Livonia.
That's correct.
I know that, you're going to need a minute on that. So I'll take it over from here. So... Do you know what the cause of death was?
Yes. So my son died from one contact gunshot wound to the head. The pathologist said that acute alcohol intoxication was also a factor in his death. He had like a 0.257 blood alcohol content. And Maria Martin was shot 14 times.
14 times.
0.257.
Kind of break that down because I'm not familiar.
The limit is 0.08. So that's 3 times the legal limit of alcohol intoxication. Wow. I feel like we just walked into investigation discovery and I have all the questions right now. But like one question, like, okay, so I'm assuming the contact gun wound they're saying to your son was point blank, correct?
Correct.
And the 14 shots, were they point blank or were they from a distance?
There's no indication that they were point blank.
Okay. And I'm assuming they're like all over her body because maybe he started. Well, I'm not saying he, but the perpetrator, whoever that perpetrator is, was shooting and she was trying to leave. Well, what do they say? How do they know it's a murder-suicide? Like, what are the Livonia police saying as far as a murder-suicide?
Well, the mom is the one, Maria's mom is the one that flagged Livonia PD down to do a welfare check. And she had indicated that she was on the phone with her daughter at 7 a.m. and that she heard her daughter and my son arguing. Her story has changed. So initially it was, take your hands off me, you're hurting me. Then it was, stop hitting me, mom, help me, mom. Then it was like a blood-curdling scream. It depends on, who the audience is. But according to her, this was at 7 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then at 10 o'clock, Maria was supposed to pick up her son because she has an older son who she had with another fellow. He was with her mom. And so her mom stated that when she didn't pick up her son at 10 o'clock that she got worried. And so she went over to her house, I assume around like the 12 o'clock mark because she flagged down Livonia police at 12:16. And that, was the start of this. So yeah, that's where they're getting murder-suicide from. That day, her family determined that they had a history of domestic violence, made a GoFundMe to that effect.
That day.
That night. That day.
Okay. Okay, so tell me, was there an autopsy done?
I had an autopsy done on my son.
But not the Livonia police. They did not.
They did a thorough external exam.
What about on the girlfriend?
They did an autopsy on her, a full autopsy.
But not on your son?
Not on my son.
And have you talked to the Livonia police?
I spoke with the detective that was on the case or over the case. when he closed the case, I told him that, I didn't feel that he had even done an investigation. I told him that I felt that I had found blood in my son's vehicle and that I wanted to have it tested. And this was on like a Sunday. And that following Tuesday, he closed the case. And he said if I had concerns with the case that I could follow up with Michigan State Police. When I called them, they said they don't, do investigations for other jurisdictions.
Yeah, what kind of... Yeah, that was some runaround stuff he gave you.
So with that... Is there a way, or have you tried to escalate it? So the person you went to did not give you the answer. So his person that he would report to, or that next entity that would hold him accountable, did you go to them?
I did. I went to the Livonia chief of police.
Okay, and what was that experience like?
There was no experience. He refused to meet with me.
So, did you try to meet with the mayor?
I contacted the mayor when the chief refused to meet with me. I didn't speak with the mayor directly. I spoke with someone named Dave Vargas.
Okay.
And he said just to circle back to him, if I couldn't get a meeting schedule. I even had some state reps trying to help me get a meeting with the Livonia police chief, Emily Devendorf. Her and her team worked tirelessly to get a call scheduled, and they just refused. They said that I could speak to a lieutenant. They told me that the detective was no longer a detective with their detective bureau.
So the person over the case originally is no longer employed by the Livonia Police Department.
Well, I don't know if that means he's no longer employed. They said he was no longer a detective with the detective bureau. And so then when I asked to speak with his supervisor, they said that he was no longer the supervisor of the detective bureau either.
Okay. It's about time for a break, but I want to go in deeper. I know, right?
Wow.
Because I need a minute. I literally need a minute because this is a lot, right? So we're going to take a short break. And I want to remind my listeners that this is Yanice Jackson, host of the Sunday Chronicle, heard every Sunday morning on Stax 92.1 FM. This is the platform for community because community knows what community needs. We'll be back after this.
At Lansing Community College, I'm learning for my future. LCC offers 1- and 2-year pathways to careers in healthcare, IT, manufacturing, and other professional trades. More than 500,000 professional trades jobs will need to be filled in Michigan by 2026. So I know I'm learning for a great career. I belong at LCC. You belong here too. Visit lcc.edu/youbelong and enroll today.
Everything is expensive right now. Gas, food, you name it. You're spending more, you are making the same or less money. So what do? You rack up credit card debt. That's what you do. It's not your fault. It's the economy. And guess what? If you rack up too much credit card debt like some of us, you can't pay your bills. Then the credit card companies, as nice as they are, start hounding you for money. Then you start your downward spiral. A smart thing for you to do is to call the Zero Debt. They can help you consolidate all your credit card bills into one affordable payment. Millions of people have done it. It works to make you debt-free. Make this free call right now. It costs you nothing to learn more.
800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. 800-406-6569. That's 800-406-6569.
Hi, I'm Yanice Jackson, publisher and editor of the Chronicle News, host of the Sunday Chronicle, and mom. Amongst my many titles, I've added writer to them. My new book chronicles everything I've learned along the way. So check out my book, Notes from the Trail, available on Amazon and everywhere books are sold. For more information, visit my website at www.yaniceyvette.com. Welcome back to the Sunday Chronicle. This is Yanice Jackson coming to you from Stax 92.1 FM. And before the break, we're talking to Miss Donnielle Williams, and she is telling us about the horrible tragedy of her son and his girlfriend being found in their Livonia home.
Both of them Detroit police officers.
Both of them are, they're deceased.
Well, true.
Both of them, oh my gosh, they're Detroit police officers, and they were found dead in their Livonia home their 1-year-old son still alive, but it was chalked up to a murder-suicide, but there's no formal investigation completed by the Livonia police. There are no autopsy.
They would say there was a formal investigation completed. Although what we call formal, what they call formal, those definitions pulling a lot of work.
Well, yeah, I just like, it baffles me that you would not do a full autopsy on both subjects. If you did one on the young lady and not to do one on the young man, it just doesn't seem equal to me. It seems like there's just no balance in that. So how can you chalk it up as a murder-suicide if there was not a full autopsy done on these? I'm just saying. I mean, I'm asking the questions, right?
Well, it's because they're cops. Like, if you're a police officer, your word carries more weight than a natural American citizen. It carries more weight than even a politician's in some regard.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, that qualified immunity kind of, it stretches into the domain of the standard issue police officer where they have...
The amount of power is scary, right? Yes. The amount of power that some law enforcement officials have, it is sometimes scary, especially to the average citizen. And so there is this level of bias that I see that is just really unacceptable. And I'm just calling it a spade, right? Because it's really just unacceptable. And this is my opinion, and you know what they say about those. But I'm just saying, I'm going to say it, it's my show, that it just really seems like it just is not, it's just not a transparency. It's something is like rotten in the state of Denmark, as they say. It's just something, just looking at this. And this is not even scratching the surface. So tell me about some more behind this flag down of because you said you made a post. Mm-hmm. And what was something that you noticed in this when this...
Well, what was it a post of?
It's a post of the flagging down. So the body cam footage.
Of the girlfriend's mother flagging down the Livonia police.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what I noticed is that, you know, over time, the things that she was saying was not true. So, for example, she said she arrived at their home and found Maria's keys and her purse in her car. And then when the Livonia police officer asked her, did she have a key to the house? And she changed her story to say that her keys were in her car, but all her keys were off her ring. Then she said that, you know, she had spoke to her at 7 a.m., but later in the Livonia police report, the detective had looked at her call log and she had spoken to Maria at 8:13.
Okay, and tell me about your son's articles, right? His credit cards and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, there's some foul play. What happened with his identity?
So someone stole my son's identity. When they died, Livonia police took his wallet and his phone, and didn't give him back to me until the investigation was complete, which was around May-ish, 23. I don't know the exact date. I'd have to look. But when I got it back and I started to handle some of my son's financial affairs, I noticed that someone had purchased roughly, it's like $1,500 worth of merchandise, like $1,000 worth of Lululemon.
Was this online purchases or in-store purchases?
So I think that they were online. His bank was very mum about it. They did not really want to help with the investigation, but the lawyer that I had who was over my guardianship case, she actually, threw me a bone and looked into it. And we found that someone by way of court order, the bank provided us with an online banking report of suspicious login activity that began on the day that my son died at 9:46 in the morning and continued every 6 hours from that point until...
So you said 9:46, right?
9:46.
When did the lady flag down the police car?
12:16 p.m.
So that was approximately 3 hours.
Prior to that.
Okay. When did she say she found the bodies?
Livonia police didn't enter my son's home until 12:43.
When did the lady say she came in again?
She said that she couldn't access the home, and that's another one of the discrepancies. She said the doors were locked, but Livonia police went right in. The door from the garage to the house was unlocked.
So you're sure she didn't try the garage door? Like, sometimes, and I'm just covering all bases here. Maybe she tried the front door, the back patio, didn't think about the garage because those were locked.
No, when she flags them down, she tells police that she had opened the garage with Maria's garage door opener. Then she changed her story to say that she had opened the garage with my son's garage door opener. And she was very clear that both the doors were locked. They only had 2 doors to their home, the front door and the back door.
Now, did they find out, and I'm jumping back to the credit thing, who had the credit card? Or who made the purchases? Was that
they found out where the packages were delivered, and they found out whose internet bill had been paid using my son's debit card, and it was one of his neighbors. She lived 2 doors down. And the strange part about this is, like, her daughter died back in 2015. She was shot, dismembered, set on fire.
Is she a person of color?
She is.
Okay. What did the Livonia Police Department follow up with the person that paid their credit card or paid their internet bill with your son's credit card?
The East Lansing police did. That's where I live. I filed a report in East Lansing.
So in East Lansing, they followed up. When was the bill paid? The cable bill, the internet bill paid?
In March. All purchases and payments were made March. It was the week after I had my son's service.
So identity was stolen. Purchases were made that day. Within a month, other things had happened in other places with this card. So the card was not canceled after the first set of fraudulent purchases?
I didn't get his card until May.
And once you got his card, did you go to the Livonia police or did you just go right to East Lansing?
I went right to East Lansing. I don't trust the Livonia police.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
And with the lady that made the purchases, what happened with her? Or not the purchases, but the internet bill?
So it went to Ingham County prosecutor, and she was charged with unauthorized usage of a financial device, and then it was dismissed because they said, somebody else could have paid her internet bill and someone else could have had packages delivered to her house.
So they didn't investigate her too thoroughly at all then?
Well, according to the prosecutor, the detective that I work with East Lansing Police, he said that the service address and phone number comes back to her, and that he felt like that was enough of an investigation. So it goes back to him. He's actually still investigating so that we can send it back to Ingham County prosecutor to recharge, because they dismissed it with prejudice or without prejudice, whatever, to where you can retry
without
it.
Prejudice.
Yeah.
If it was with prejudice, then that's game over.
Yeah. So the detective is still working on it. He asked me for more information because not only did someone make purchases and pay their internet bill, they attempted to open lines of credit. They tried to hack into my son's IRS.gov account.
So
actually, a couple days.
They had
all this
more.
was done digitally. Like none of this was done face to face.
I don't know. Like, Huntington didn't give us any of that information. Like I said, they were not willing to participate in any part of the investigation.
So, from your knowledge, is there any connection between the lady that paid her internet bill and had all these other things that was going on and she was doing the most, and the mother of the young lady that was found deceased? Is there any connection in your knowledge or no?
Not that I'm aware of.
Have you hired you had a PI.
I've hired several PIs.
Okay.
And what have they turned up?
Well, originally I hired a PI to investigate the other mother because we're fighting for guardianship of my grandson. That's still ongoing.
Wow.
And they found out that she has like 16 different aliases,
Oh my
2 or 3
God.
different social security numbers, 2 or 3 different birth dates.
Does she have a history of like fraud and credit card fraud and those sorts of things, identity theft?
So I don't think that she has a criminal history.
Okay.
What my lawyer was able to obtain is like 63 pages worth of police runs to her house. Most of them are like violent offenses, like felonious assault, domestic assault, ceasefire, shot stopper or spotter, whatever that is. There was one report of a young lady bound in her basement being beaten and raped. But there was also a report from Maria reporting that someone had stolen her identity.
Maria, of course, is the girlfriend
Yes.
of your son.
That's correct.
Who also died.
That's correct.
So you have your son who was shot once, apparently point blank, killed.
Yes,
You have his girlfriend who was shot 14 times.
that's correct.
And you have a mother of the girlfriend who changes her story multiple times and has a 63-page history of cops coming to her home, which also includes a story of a woman getting beaten and raped. And you have a neighbor 2 doors down who happened to have her power bill and Lululemon and other purchases and attempted lines of credit all established using your son's information.
So they weren't able to determine that she's the one that attempted to open the line of credit.
Right.
That's what the detective is circling back to.
I'm sorry, I used the wrong language.
That's okay.
It's like these things were linked to her,
That's correct.
but they can't prove that it originates from her, just as she was a beneficiary from someone who happened to have access to your son's personal information for the use and purpose of establishing lines of credit, paying her power, and paying for packages that were sent to her home.
That's correct. Paying her internet bill.
So, in your opinion, would the mom, the one that found them, quote unquote, deceased in a home, in your opinion, would she have something to gain by these 2 young people being offed? Or
The money for their kids, their death benefits.
Yeah, they are police officers. They are required, I believe, to fill out some type of life insurance benefits. Yeah, it just, but and
it's a shame because we can't go in too much further because our time is growing near, but we're going to have you back. This is going to be a series of 3 because there's just no way we can cover this in one episode, and we're going to be covering this story in the Chronicle newspaper and on the website. So these will be running concurrently. But before we leave, just give me a brief overview. Was there something going on within the police department? Was there some extra? Well, they weren't married, so they're not extramarital affairs. But was there some infidelity? Would that be infidelity if you're not married? If you're some cheating? Was there something going on between the couple and someone is stepping outside of the relationship unknown?
Yeah, so they both had history of infidelity. My son had been caught cheating, and
was it cheating with other members of the community, or was it who were they cheating with? That
I don't know. I don't know who my son had an affair with. I don't think she was another police officer. I just think she was like a friend or some random gal. He had been caught. He admitted to it. That was the only instance that I knew of him cheating.
But the young lady,
she was also cheating. So when they passed, she was in a relationship with another Detroit police officer.
Oh,
a young lady.
So
wait, your son's girlfriend was in a relationship with a woman and cheating with your son, or flip?
I have no idea. According to the young lady, she had been in a relationship with Maria since October of the year prior.
Wow.
When I spoke with my son on the Friday before, he had told me that they were broken up and that at that point she was really just coming to and from the house to drop off and pick up baby. He worked day shift and she worked night shift.
Okay. So it was more of the routine thing. So to find this to happen just was not routine, of course. But Donnie, we want to thank you for joining us and trusting us with your story. I mean, it's just so much. But we're going to have you back. And thank you, Span, and everyone who's listening. We know this is a little bit heavier than most of our episodes, but me as a journalist and as a news show host, it is my job to report and be a voice of the community because community knows what community needs. We're going to sign out, and we're going to see you again next week. Thank you. This is Yanice Jackson from Stax 92.1 FM. Make it a great week.
What is Recover Now? It's a movement to get clean and sober, started by you, friends and family members, or maybe even the person suffering from an alcohol or drug problem. Recover Now is a free service that helps people find treatment facilities covered by private insurance to help them start the road to recovery and succeed. If you or a loved one wants to recover now, call this number. It's a free call. Many of our treatment counselors have been exactly where you are, and they know what you're going through and how to help you get where you want to be. And that is on the road to recovery. With one free phone call, my specialist will check your insurance and help you get the best treatment for your needs. Remember, get clean, get sober. Use Recover Now as your free service. Here's the number.
800-209-5173. 800-209-5173. 800-209-5173. That's 800-209-5173.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.